Dr. Lavrar Mitchell never expected to become humanity's ambassador to an alien medical team. The day had started normally at her rural veterinary clinic in northern Montana. She had treated 2 horses with stomach pain, a sheepdog with a thorn in its paw, and was about to close up when the sky lit up like a holiday celebration. The ship that landed in the empty field behind her clinic looked like a massive silver teardrop. Its surface moved like liquid metal under the setting sun. Lavra stood frozen in the doorway, her hand still on the light switch, when the side of the vessel melted away to reveal 3 figures. They were tall and thin with skin that changed between pale blue and light purple. Their 4-fingered hands moved in careful, exact gestures as they talked among themselves. A small device at what Lavra thought was their throat area pulsed with light. "Hello," Lavra called out, staying calm as she always did with scared animals. "Can I help you?" The tallest alien stepped forward. "Greetings, Earth medical person. I am Chief Medical Officer Zixtile of the Galactic Medical Exchange. These are my helpers, Junior Officers Nira and Valix. We can tell from your brain patterns that you have knowledge of living things." Lavra blinked a few times. "I'm a veterinarian. I treat animals." The aliens looked at each other, their skin rippling with colors. "Even better," Zixtel replied. "We need help right away with a living thing emergency. Our ship's containment area has been broken. A dangerous hunter from Habitat Area 7 has escaped and hurt 2 crew members." Lavra felt her heart beat faster. "You have a hurt, dangerous animal on your ship?" "Yes," Nira said, the translator making their voice sound high and musical. "And we do not know how to handle such a creature. Our scans show that you know how to manage Earth's hunter species." "I mostly treat farm animals and pets, but please," Zixtel said, their skin turning almost white. "We cannot go near the creature. It has trapped itself in our medical area, stopping us from treating our hurt crew. Our research shows that Earth has some of the most aggressive hunter species in this part of the galaxy. You may be our only hope." Lavra took a deep breath. "Let me grab my kit." The aliens led her toward their ship. As she walked up the ramp, Lavra wondered if she was making a huge mistake. What kind of predator were they talking about? A bear? A mountain lion? Whatever it was scared and hurt, and that made it. Dangerous dot inside the alien ship, everything looked strange. The walls curved like the inside of a seashell. Lights moved along these walls in patterns that seemed almost alive. The air felt thick and smelled faintly of cinnamon and something like an electrical storm. "Our hurt crew are stable but cannot be moved to other areas," Zixtile explained as they floated down a hallway. "The creature entered our ship during a trip to collect samples of Earth life. It seems to have been drawn to our food stores. What exactly are we dealing with?" Lavra asked, thinking about the predators that lived in Montana. "Bear? Mountain lion?" The aliens stopped walking, their skin darkening with what Lavra was starting to recognize as worry. "We do not know what Earth calls it," Valix said. "But our readings show it has features of a top hunter, sharp teeth, aggressive behavior, amazing speed, and highly developed senses." They approached a sealed door. Through a clear section, Lavra could see medical equipment unlike anything she'd ever seen before. 2 aliens lay on floating platforms, their limbs wrapped in what looked like glowing bandages. "The creature is in the far corner," Nira whispered, pointing to a dark area behind some equipment. "It attacked without warning when Officer tried to offer it food," Lavara looked through the window. At first, she couldn't see anything in the corner they pointed to. Then she saw a small movement, something small and orange. "That's your dangerous predator?" Lavra asked, almost smiling. "You know this species?" Zixtel's skin lightened with hope. "I think so, but I need to get closer to be sure. Can you open the door just enough for me to slip in? And maybe make the lights less bright?" The aliens talked briefly before Zixtel nodded. "We will open the door, but please be very careful. The creature moves very fast and scares us." The door slid open just enough for Lavra to step through. The lights dimmed as she asked, and she moved slowly, keeping her body language non-threatening. From the corner came a low, rumbling sound. "Hey there," Lavra said softly. "It's okay. Nobody's going to hurt you." Behind her, she heard the aliens, translators working hard as they whispered urgently to each other. When Lavra reached the corner, she crouched down and finally got a good look at the dangerous predator. That had the advanced alien medical team so terrified it was a house cat. A somewhat scruffy orange tabby with one torn ear and bright green eyes, currently pressed against the wall with its fur standing on end. Lavra couldn't help but laugh. The aliens thought a common house cat was a deadly predator. She turned to look at the aliens hovering nervously by the door. "This is what attacked your crew?" she asked. "Is it not dangerous?" Zixtal asked, their skin showing confusion. Lavra turned back to the cat, which was still growling softly. "This is a domestic cat. They're pets on Earth. This one is scared." "That's all, pet?" Nira's translator seemed to struggle with the word. "You mean animal friend?" "Exactly," Lavara said. "Though this one might not have a home, he's a bit thin." The alien's skin rippled with what appeared to be disbelief. "This creature attacked Officer Trelix with no warning," Valix insisted. "It used its sharp claws and teeth. Our medical scans show its bite contains bacteria made to cause infection." Lavra nodded. "Cats can be territorial when frightened. And yes, their bites can cause infection, but they're hardly top predators. They weigh about 10 pounds on average." She slowly held out her hand toward the cat, letting it smell her fingers. The orange tabby's growl softened slightly. "You go near it without protection?" Zixtal sounded horrified. "Watch," Lavra said. She began making soft clicking sounds with her tongue, keeping her movements slow and careful. After a minute, the cat's posture relaxed a little. Another minute, and it carefully smelled Laura's fingers. "There you go," she murmured. "Just a scared kitty, aren't you?" To the alien's obvious amazement, Lavra carefully picked up the cat, who tensed but didn't fight as she held it against her chest and began stroking its back. "Amazing," Zixtal whispered. "You have controlled it." Lavra laughed softly. "I haven't controlled anything. I've just shown it I'm not a threat." She continued petting the cat, which had started to purr. "Your crew probably scared it as much as it scared them." The three aliens stared at Lavra as she held the purring cat in her arms. Their skin changed colors rapidly, showing their surprise and confusion. "But our scans showed predatory features," Nira said, moving closer with curiosity now visible. "In their color patterns, cats are predators," Lavra explained. "They hunt mice and birds. But they're not dangerous to humans or to you, I'm guessing, unless they're threatened." Valix approached carefully. "Those sounds it's making, is that a warning?" "It's purring." "That means it's happy," Lavra explained. "Would you like to pet it?" The three aliens looked at each other in a way Lavra couldn't understand. "Is it dife?" Zixtal finally asked. "Just move slowly and be gentle," Lavra instructed. "One finger at first along its back." After hesitating, Zixtal reached out one long, thin finger and gently touched the cat's back. When nothing bad happened, they stroked. Lightly down to the tail, the cat purred louder. "This is amazing," Zixtal said quietly. "Its fur has feeling parts that seem to enjoy being touched." Lavra smiled. "Most pets on Earth like physical contact. It builds trust and releases good feelings in both the pet and the person." The other aliens took turns carefully petting the cat, their skin changing to pleasant shades of blue-green and gold as their fear went away. "May I look at your herd crew members?" Lavra asked. "Cat scratches and bites should be cleaned properly to stop infection." While still holding the now calm cat, Lavra approached the herd aliens. Their wounds were not deep, a few scratches on parts that seemed like arms. "These don't look too bad," she said. "On humans, we'd clean these with something to kill germs. And maybe use medicine on the skin." Nira moved to a cabinet and got what looked like medical supplies. "Our cleaning steps should be good enough. We were more worried about possible poison or nerve toxins," Lavra shook her head. "House cats don't have poison, though I can see why you might think so if you've never seen them before." As Lavra watched the treatment of the scratches, she began to ask questions about the aliens' medical knowledge and their mission. The talk quickly turned into a fascinating exchange of information. "We are part of the Galactic Medical Exchange," Zixtal explained. "We study the body features and medical practices of various worlds. And Earth is on your study list? Lavra asked. Earth is ... double quotes. Valix paused. Special interest. Your planet has an unusual variety of life forms and remarkable ability to adapt. Biologically? Your world contains extremes rarely seen elsewhere, Nira added. Creatures that can live in near boiling water, others that thrive in freezing temperatures. Animals that grow new limbs, plants that talk through underground networks. And then there are humans, Zixtel said, their skin changing to a thoughtful purple. Your species particularly interests us. Why? Lavra asked, curious despite herself. You are classified as prey animals by biological standards, Zixtel explained. No natural armor, relatively weak, poor sense of smell, average vision. Yet you became the top species through adaptability and intelligence. And, Nira added, you maintain relationships with predator species as companions. They pointed to the cat, now sleeping in Laura's lap as she sat beside one of the treatment platforms. I never thought of it that way, Lavra admitted, but I guess it is unusual. In our observations across 27 habitable worlds, we have never seen a species that keeps predators as companions, Valix confirmed. It is uniquely human. After the injured aliens were treated, Zixtel invited Lavra to see more of their ship. The cat, which Lavra had started calling Rusty because of its orange color, seemed content to stay in her arms as they walked. Our mission is to study life forms across the galaxy, Zixtel explained as they entered a large room filled with strange equipment. We are particularly interested in medical practices and biological adaptations. So you're like space doctors? Lavra asked. That is a simple but accurate description, Valix said. We heal, we study, and we share knowledge. Lavra watched as Nira operated a floating screen, bringing up images of creatures Lavra had never seen before. Some looked almost like Earth. Animals, but with strange differences. Others were completely alien to her. These are some of the species we have studied, Nira explained. Each has unique adaptations to their environment. Amazing, Lavra said, genuinely impressed. And now you're studying Earth? Yes, Zixtel confirmed. Your planet has the most diverse ecosystem we have encountered. And the relationship between humans and other species is ... unusual. Rusty had woken up and was now looking around with interest. Lavra set him down carefully and he began to explore the room, sniffing at strange objects. He seems curious, Valix observed. Cats usually are, Lavra said. They're natural explorers. The aliens watched with fascination as Rusty investigated his new surroundings, occasionally stopping to clean his paws or rub against a piece of equipment. And you say these animals live with humans willingly? Nira asked. Yes, cats chose to live with humans thousands of years ago because we provided food and shelter. In return, they kept rodents away from our grain stores. Over time, the relationship became more about companionship. A mutual benefit arrangement that evolved into an emotional bond, Zixtel said thoughtfully. Fascinating. Rusty had made his way to what appeared to be a small floating light. He batted at it with his paw, and the light bobbed away. Rusty crouched, wiggled his rear end, and pounced. The aliens made sounds that Lavra interpreted as laughter. He's playing, Valix said, a predator that plays. All young mammals play, Lavra explained. It helps them practice hunting and fighting skills. Cats keep that playfulness even as adults. Rusty continued to chase the floating light around the room, providing entertainment for everyone. The alien's fear had completely disappeared, replaced by curiosity and delight. We have made an error in our assessment of Earth species, Zixtel admitted. We assumed that predators would be universally dangerous and aggressive. All animals can be dangerous in the right circumstances, Lavra said. But most just want to live their lives in peace. Fear and pain make them aggressive. A wisdom that applies across the galaxy, Nira noted. We have much to learn from you, Dr. Mitchell, Lavra smiled. And I have much to learn from you. This is the most interesting house call I've ever made. The aliens looked confused by the term house call. It means a doctor visit to someone's Home, Lavra explained. Ah, yes, Zixtel said. This is indeed a house call to our mobile house in space. Lavra laughed, and after a moment the aliens joined in, their skin rippling with happy colors. As the night went on, Lavra found herself in the middle of an unexpected lesson about Earth animals with the alien medical team. Rusty the cat had made himself at home on a soft floating platform in the corner of the room, occasionally opening one eye to check on the strange gathering. So humans keep many different animals as companions? Zixtel asked, their skin showing a color that Lavra was beginning to recognize as curiosity. Yes, all kinds, Lavra replied. Dogs, cats, birds, fish, rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters. Some. People even keep snakes or spiders? Spiders? Valex's skin paled. Our scans showed those have venom. Some do, Lavra explained, but most aren't dangerous to humans. People who keep them as pets know how to handle them safely. Nero was watching Rusty with great interest. And what purpose do these companion animals serve? Lavra thought for a moment. Well, originally they had practical purposes. Cats hunted mice and rats that would eat our food. Dogs helped with hunting other animals and protecting our homes. But now, many are just companions. They make us happy, make you happy. Zixtel repeated, as if trying to understand a complex concept. They serve an emotional purpose. Exactly, Lavra said. Studies show that petting an animal can lower a human's blood pressure and reduce stress. There's a real health benefit to having pets. So they are like living medicine, Valex suggested. Lavra smiled. In a way, yes. We also use animals in therapy for people with certain health problems. Dogs can be trained to help people who can't see or who have seizures. And some animals visit hospitals to cheer up sick people. The aliens exchanged glances, their skin showing shades of surprise and interest. This relationship between species is remarkable, Zixtel said. On most worlds we have visited, different species either ignore each other or see each other as food or threats. But you three work together, Lavra pointed out. Aren't you from different species? We are all Galactic Union citizens, Nira explained. But we evolved on the same planet, just in different regions. We are more like what you would call different races of the same species. I see, Lavra said. So you haven't seen different species working together before? Not like this, Zixtel said, gesturing to Rusty. Not living together by choice with emotional bonds? Rusty chose that moment to wake up from his nap. He stretched, arching his back and extending his claws before jumping down from the platform. He walked directly to Lavra and rubbed against her legs, purring loudly. He's asking for attention, Lavra explained, reaching down to scratch behind his ears. This is how cats show affection. May I try? Nira asked hesitantly. Of course, Lavra said. Sit down and hold out your hand. Let him come to you. Nira sat on the floor and carefully extended a hand. Rusty approached cautiously, sniffed the alien's fingers, and after a moment's consideration butted his head against Nira's hand. He's touching me, Nira exclaimed, their skin flashing with bright colors of excitement. That means he likes you, Lavra explained. You can pet him now. Nira gently stroked Rusty's fur, and the cat leaned into the touch, purring even louder. This is an honor, Nira said quietly. Lavra was touched by the alien's reaction. He trusts you. That's special with cats. They don't give their trust easily. Valix and Zixtel watched with interest as Rusty eventually climbed into Nira's lap and settled down, kneading with his paws before curling up. What is he doing now? Nira asked as Rusty pushed his paws against their leg. It's called kneading, Lavra explained. Kittens do that to their mothers to help milk flow when they're nursing. Adult cats do it when they're content and comfortable. He sees me as a parent figure? Nira asked, clearly moved by the idea. Not exactly, Lavra said. It's just a sign that he's happy and feels safe with you. As the others watched this interaction, Lavra noticed a change in the alien's demeanor. They seemed more relaxed now, less formal. The fear they had shown earlier was completely gone. Would your species be open to a cultural exchange program? Zixtel asked suddenly. What kind of exchange? Lavar asked. We would like to learn more about Earth species and your relationship with them, Zixtal explained. And we could share our medical knowledge with you. Our scanning technology can detect illness much earlier than your current methods. Lavra thought about the possibilities. That sounds amazing, but I'm just a small-town vet. Wouldn't you want to talk to government officials or scientists? We prefer to start small, Valek said. Large organizations tend to complicate matters. And you have already shown a remarkable ability to bridge the gap between species. Besides, Nira added, still gently petting Rusty, we have made our first Earth friend. It would be good to continue this relationship, Lavra smiled. I'd be happy to help. What did you have in mind? We will be orbiting your planet for approximately 1 Earth year, Zixtal explained. During that time, we would like to learn about all the different animals on your planet, especially those that live with humans, like a survey of Earth's companion animals? Lavra asked. Yes, Valix confirmed. And we would share our medical knowledge in return. We have treatments for many conditions that your science has not yet discovered. Lavra thought about all the animals she couldn't save, all the conditions that were beyond current veterinary medicine. The chance to learn alien medical techniques was too good to pass up. I'm in, she said. But how would we do this? I have a clinic to run, and you can't exactly park your spaceship in my backyard every day. Zixtal's skin rippled with what Lavra was learning to recognize as amusement. We have portable communication devices, and we can transport you to our ship when needed. Transport? Like a beam-up? Lavra asked, thinking of old science fiction. Shows, not exactly, Valek said. But we can bring you here without the need for your primitive vehicles, Lavra laughed. Well, that would certainly cut down on my commute time. Rusty had fallen asleep in Nera's lap, completely comfortable, with his new alien friend. What about him? Nera asked, looking down at the sleeping cat. He has no home, you said? He's a stray, Lavra confirmed. I could take him back to my clinic, try to find him a human home. The 3 aliens exchanged meaningful looks, their skin cycling through colors in what seemed like a silent conversation. We have another proposal, Zixtal said finally. Would it be acceptable for Rusty to stay with us as our first Earth companion? Lavra looked at the 3 aliens with surprise. You want to adopt Rusty? Is that the correct term? Zixtal asked. We wish for him to stay with us as our companion during our mission. Lavra glanced at Rusty, who was still sleeping peacefully in Nera's lap. Well, he does seem comfortable with you. But caring for a cat is a big responsibility. We understand responsibility, Valek said seriously. We are medical professionals who care for many life forms. Of course, Lavra said, but cats have specific needs. They need the right food, clean water, a place to go to the bathroom, toys to play with, and regular checkups. We can provide all these things, Zixtal assured her. And you could teach us the proper care techniques. Lavra thought about it. The idea of aliens adopting a cat was strange, but Rusty needed a home, and the aliens seemed genuinely fond of him. Okay, she finally said. But I'll need to check on him regularly, and you'll need supplies. We can transport you to get whatever is needed, Valek offered. Our ship has replication technology that can create most items once we have scanned the original. Laura's eyes widened. You can just make things? Like cat food and litter boxes? Basic items are simple to replicate, Nera explained, still gently stroking Rusty's fur. Once we understand the molecular structure. That's amazing, Lavara said. I guess that solves the supply problem. Then it is agreed? Zixtal asked. Rusty will be our ship companion and you will be our guide to Earth's animals? Lavra nodded. Yes, it's agreed. But we should start with the basics of cat care before we move on to more complex subjects. Over the next few hours, Lavra explained the essentials of caring for a cat. The aliens listened with intense interest, asking questions and taking notes. On their floating screens, they created a special area of the ship for Rusty, complete with a soft bed, food and water bowls, a litter box, and toys. He will need regular exercise, Lavra explained as they watched Rusty explore his new space. Cats like to climb and jump and chase things. We can adjust this area to provide such activities, Zixtel said. Perhaps adding different levels and moving objects for him to pursue. That sounds perfect, Lavara said. Just make sure nothing can hurt him. As they finished setting up Rusty's area, Lavara realized how late it had become. I should probably get back to my clinic. I have appointments starting early tomorrow. Of course, Zixtel said. We have kept you too long. Allow us to return you to your facility. How exactly does this transportation work? Lavra asked nervously. It is a simple matter of breaking down matter into energy and reassembling it. At the target location, Valix explained, completely safe. Lavra didn't feel completely reassured, but she nodded anyway. Okay, I'm ready. Before you go, Nira said, we should establish a communication protocol. You may need to contact U.S. regarding Rusty's care. They gave Lavra a small silver device that looked something like a smooth stone. Press the center and speak. We will hear you anywhere on your planet. Lavra took the device and slipped it into her pocket. Thank you. I'll check in tomorrow evening to see how Rusty is doing. We look forward to your next visit, Zixtel said, and to beginning our exchange of knowledge. With that, the aliens activated their transport system. Lavra felt a warm, tingling sensation, and then suddenly she was standing outside her clinic. The alien ship was nowhere to be seen. Wow, she whispered to herself, that actually happened. Lavra unlocked her clinic door and went inside, her mind racing with the events of the evening. She had met aliens, boarded their spaceship, and arranged for them to adopt a stray cat. It was a lot to process. As she prepared to go home, she realized she would need to come up with a cover story. She couldn't exactly tell people she was working with aliens. They would think she was crazy. The next day, Lavra went through her appointments as usual, treating farm animals and pets with her typical care and attention. But her mind kept drifting to the aliens and Rusty. Were they figuring out how to care for him? Was he adjusting to life on a spaceship? In the afternoon, between appointments, she slipped into her office and took out the communication device. She pressed the center as instructed. Hello, this is Lavra. I'm just checking on Rusty. The device warmed slightly in her hand, and then Nira's voice came through clearly. Hello, Lavra. Rusty is doing well. He has eaten and used the waste facility as instructed. He is currently engaged in pursuing a moving light we created for his entertainment. Lavara smiled with relief. That's great. Any problems or questions? He attempted to enter a restricted area of the ship, Valix's voice added. We have adjusted the force fields to keep him in safe zones. That sounds right, Lavra said. Cats are curious and will try to go anywhere they can fit. They especially like small, warm spaces. We have noted this behavior, Zixtel's voice joined in. We have created several small enclosures with soft linings for him to rest in. Perfect, Lavra said. I'll stop by this evening after I close the clinic. We will prepare for your visit, Zixtel replied. We have many questions about other Earth species. Lavra ended the communication and sat back in her chair, smiling to herself. The aliens were taking their role as cat owners very seriously. That evening, after her last appointment, Lavra locked up the clinic and went out to the field behind the building. She took out the communication device. I'm ready for transport, she said. Feeling a little silly using such a science fiction phrase, almost immediately, she felt the warm, tingling sensation again, and then she was standing in the main room of the alien ship. Zixtel, Nira, and Valix were waiting for her. Welcome back, Zixtel greeted her. We have been studying Earth animal species in preparation for our discussion. And how's Rusty doing? Lavra asked. See for yourself, Nira said. Gesturing to a corner of the room, Rusty was perched on a floating platform, watching the activity. In the room with typical feline superiority. When he saw Lavra, he stretched and jumped down, trotting over to rub against her legs in greeting. Well, he certainly seems at home, Lavra said, bending down to pet him. You've done a good job. We have learned much already from observing him, Valix said. His adaptability to a new environment is remarkable. Cats are pretty good at making themselves comfortable anywhere, Lavera agreed. Now, what did you want to discuss about other Earth animals? Zixtal's skin brightened with enthusiasm. We have many questions, but first we have something to show you. Zixtal led Lavera to another part of the ship. It was a large room filled with soft blue light. In the center was something that looked like a garden. Plants of various shapes and colors grew in neat rows. Some looked like earth plants, while others were completely strange to Lavera. This is our biolab, Zixtal explained. We study and grow plant life from different worlds. It's beautiful, Lavera said, admiring the exotic plants. But this is not what we wanted to show you, Nera said, guiding Lavera toward a door at the far end of the room. They entered a smaller room. Inside were several large, clear containers. Each one held a different small animal. Lavera recognized some of them as mice, rabbits, and what looked like a small lizard. But there were also creatures she had never seen before. What is this? Lavera asked, moving closer to examine the strange animals. These are specimens we have collected from various planets, Valix explained. We study their biology and behavior. Lavera frowned slightly. Are they well cared for? Do they have enough space? Of course, Zixtal assured her. These habitats are designed to replicate their natural environments. They have everything they need. Lavera looked more closely at the enclosures. They did seem well designed, with proper food, water, and environmental features for each species. We follow strict ethical guidelines in our research, Nera added. No creature is harmed or distressed. That's good, Lavera said, feeling relieved. So what did you want to show me specifically? Zixtal moved to a container at the end of the row. Inside was what looked like a small blue fox with 6 legs and large, pointed ears. This is a Luraxi from the planet Kelda, Zixtal said. It has a remarkable ability to heal itself. When injured, it produces special cells that can repair damage much faster than Earth animals. Like regeneration? Lavera asked, fascinated. Similar, but more advanced, Valix said. We have been studying its healing properties to develop new medical treatments. And we have succeeded, Nera said proudly. We have created a healing gel based on the Luraxi's biology. Lavera watched as the small blue creature moved around its habitat, seemingly content. That's amazing. What can this gel do? It can heal wounds much faster than normal, Zixtal explained. And with less scarring. It works on most species we have tested, including Earth species? Lavera asked. We believe so, based on our analysis of Earth animal biology, Valix said. But we have not had the opportunity to test it. Lavera understood what they were suggesting. You want to use this gel on injured animals at my clinic? With your supervision and consent, Zixtal confirmed. It could be the first step in our exchange of medical knowledge. Lavera thought about it. The idea of using alien medicine on her? Patience was a bit scary. But if it could help animals heal faster and with less pain, it might be worth trying. I would need to know exactly what's in it and how it works, Lavera said. And we would need to start very carefully with minor injuries. Of course, Nera agreed. We can provide all the information you need. And we would monitor the results closely. Let me think about it, Lavera said. This is a big step. As they talked, Rusty had followed them into the room. He was now sitting by Laura's feet, watching the small animals in their containers with great interest, especially the Luraxi. Rusty seems curious about our specimens, Valix observed. He's a cat, Lavera said with a smile. Small moving creatures are very interesting to him. But don't worry, he can't get into those containers, right? They are completely secure, Zixtal assured her. The force fields would prevent any access. Lavera nodded, relieved. Good, because as sweet as Rusty is with people, he's still a predator when it comes to small animals. They moved back to the main room of the ship, where Zixtal showed Lavera more information about the healing gel on a floating screen. The data was impressive. Wounds that would normally take weeks to heal were completely better in days. This could revolutionize veterinary medicine, Lavera said, amazed by what she was seeing, and it is just the beginning, Nera told her. We Have many other medical advances we could share? Why are you willing to share this with us? Lavra asked. Earth must seem very primitive compared to other planets you visited. The three aliens exchanged looks, their skin changing to thoughtful shades of blue and purple. Earth is unique, Zixtal finally said. Your planet has more biodiversity than any world we have studied. And your species has a special relationship with other life forms? We believe there is much we can learn from each other, Valix added. This exchange benefits us as well. Lavra thought about all the good this knowledge could do. How many animals could be helped? How much suffering could be prevented? I'll do it, she decided. We can start with a few simple cases. If the results are good, we can expand from there. The alien's skin brightened with pleasure. An excellent decision, Zixtal said. We will prepare the first samples of the gel for you. But there's one condition, Lavra added. This has to stay between us for now. I can't tell people I'm using alien medicine on their pets. We understand the need for discretion, Nira assured her. How will you explain the improved healing? Lavra thought. For a moment. I'll say I'm testing a new experimental treatment. That's not even a lie, really. As they finalized their plans, Rusty jumped onto a nearby platform and began grooming himself, completely at ease in his new home. He has adapted remarkably well, Valix observed. Cats are good at that, Lavra said. As long as their basic needs? They can be happy almost anywhere. Perhaps humans share this adaptability, Zixtal suggested. You have shown remarkable calm in the face of meeting alien life forms. Lavra laughed. Well, I'm still processing everything. But I guess when you work with animals, you learn to expect the unexpected. As Lavra prepared to return to her clinic, she looked at the three aliens who had gone from terrified of a house cat to excited about a medical partnership in just 2 days. I think this is the beginning of something amazing, she said. We agree. Zixtal replied, their skin glowing with warm, golden light. The stars have brought us together for a purpose. Lavra glanced at Rusty, who was now watching them all with half-closed eyes from his comfortable perch. And to think it all started because you were scared of a cat. The universe works in strange ways, Nira said. Sometimes the smallest creatures can lead to the biggest discoveries. As Lavra felt the now familiar tingle of the transport system taking her back to Earth, she smiled to herself. Her life had changed forever because a stray cat had wandered onto an alien ship, and now that same cat was helping build a bridge between two worlds. Who would have thought that the key to interstellar friendship would be understanding that even the scariest creatures are often just afraid?